Welcome to week 12 of Bible Studies for Life. It's Thanksgiving week, so we're taking a break. This week we're going to pull out of Genesis and the story of Abram, and we're going to go into Psalms. And a great psalm, Psalm 100, may be very familiar to you, may not be familiar to you, but it's a great psalm, especially fitting for the time of Thanksgiving. And so we're just going to look at this song of praise, one that maybe we know well, maybe we've seen it, we've heard verses, even if you don't know they came from Psalm 100, but ones maybe we haven't looked at or thought about in depth. And so we're just going to do that a little bit this week, is look at Psalm 100 and see what we can gain from this about being thankful to the Lord during the time of Thanksgiving. So, verse 1 and 2, let the whole earth shout triumphantly to the Lord. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. Now I tell you, there's one thing that you ought to pick up as you read through Psalm 100. This is a loud psalm. Now I'm not reading it loud, but it's a loud psalm. Shout, serve the Lord. Shout triumphantly. Serve with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. This is the tenor, the attitude of worship, of praise, is a full giving of yourself. It's wholehearted coming before the Lord with praise and honor. And so there's a loudness to it. That's why the whole earth shouts triumphantly in victory, recognizing that there is ultimate victory. No matter what is happening in the world, we recognize there's ultimate victory in the Lord. This is why in times of crisis, in times that are very difficult, in times that are very hard, we can still thank the Lord, because we know that in the end he's going to win, right? That he is the triumphant victor over all of history. And we know that while we may not be seeing victory today, we will experience and live in victory for eternity. And so we come in triumph. We shout triumphantly before him because we know he's the winner. And that's how we're able to give thanks in the worst of times, because we have a certainty about where things are going to end up. And this kind of goes throughout this psalm, this thankfulness. He talks about it, we'll see it in the last couple of verses, but it is throughout. Everything that's there is based on our belief in the sovereignty and the ultimate victorious work of the Lord. So we come, we shout triumphantly, we serve him with gladness. We come before him with joyful songs. We serve with gladness. That's with not happiness based on circumstance, but gladness and joy, which is based beyond circumstances. It's based on the faithfulness of the Lord and on our trust and assurance that he will do everything that he said he will do. And so we are glad. We're joyful, as bad as it may be, as hard as it may be, as little or as much as we may have. We can be joyful, we can be glad, because we know the Lord is going to keep his promises. So we serve him with gladness. We do what he asks with gladness because we have great trust in him and his will. We trust that he will do what he said he will do, and so we serve him with gladness. Okay. Acknowledge that the Lord is God. He made us, and we are his people, the sheep of his pasture. Well, what an important thing. Acknowledge that the Lord is God. Say it. Express this. The Lord is God. He is God. Acknowledge this, which is more than just saying it. It is agreeing. It's agreeing. The Lord is God. Yahweh, the Lord. Yahweh is God. He made us, and we are his. Well, this is extremely important. Obviously, all of this is built out of relationship, right? So obviously, this is speaking to those who have relationship with the Lord. And even those of us who have a relationship with the Lord have to, at times, remember, acknowledge, say again, remind ourselves, the Lord is God. He made us. I'm his. He made me. I'm his. I'm a part of his people. I'm the sheep of his pasture. Right? This is sovereignty of God. Sovereignty of God in lordship over me. He is my Lord. Right? An acknowledgement that he made me. He is sovereign over my life. He brought what used to be said, he brought you into this world, he can take you out. He brought us in, he can take us out. We're his. We belong to him. right? He made us. He is God. We're not. He is. And well, there's another reason that we're thankful. We express thanks to him because we know that everything that we have is because of him. Our entire being is a result of him and his work and his love and his faithfulness of what he has done. He made us, and I'm one of his. I belong to him. My life belongs to him. Therefore, I am thankful that he has given me my life and given me everything in my life. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and bless his name. For the Lord is good, and his faithful love endures forever, his faithfulness through all generations. Here's the reason why. Okay, look what his reason, right? Why? Because the Lord is good. By definition, God is good. What God does is always good. By definition, he does it, therefore it is good. Everything that he does is a good thing. The Lord is good. Not just does good, is good, right? And his faithful love endures forever. This is Hesed, this Hebrew word. His Hesed, his covenant, faithful love endures forever. It goes on beyond all circumstance, beyond all time, past the time that time exists. That makes sense, right? His faithful love endures forever. His faithfulness through all generations. He is faithful, and his faithfulness is expressed in love. It's his faithful love, his Hesed, covenant love, and he will be faithful forever through every generation. He will always do what he said he would do. He will always keep his promises. So we enter his gates with thanksgiving. We come before him, right? We come into his presence. We enter into his presence with thanksgiving. Let me ask you, how many times do you consciously make that decision when you enter into the presence of the Lord? When you come into worship, when you go into a time of prayer, when you walk into church. You know, I mean, the church is not his gates, but that's a place of his presence. You're coming into worship. How many times do we consciously say, I need to be thankful right now? I need to come with thanksgiving in my heart. I need to give thanks to God for what he's done and how he's moved and how he's worked and who he is and his patience with me, his forgiveness, his mercy, his perseverance with me. I need to give thanks to him. Listen, you sit down and just start making a list of all the things that you can be thankful for. And you should be able to make that list forever and never end, right? That we could just go on and on and on. The more we think about it, the more we should be thankful. If you come to a time of Thanksgiving and you can't figure out what to thank God for, you're not thinking very well. You're not thinking very well at all. We need to come with thanksgiving. We enter his gates. We come into his presence with thanksgiving. And we come into his courts with praise. We come in praising him because we're thankful to him because he gave us everything. We're praising him. He is the giver of all things. He is the sovereign God. So we give thanks to him. Again, it says we give thanks to him, right? We give thanks and bless his name. Now, I just wanted to talk about this phrase right here at the end, to bless his name. What does that mean? Have you ever thought about what it means to bless God's name? Right? We say, bless the Lord. I mean, you know, we think about God blessing us, right? He blesses us, all the blessings. We give thanksgiving for all his blessings, right? But here it is to bless, for me to bless his name. What does that mean? How do I bless him? I'm going to tell you how you bless him is by being thankful, having the correct attitude, right? Having gratitude in your heart towards him, living obediently, being faithful to the things that you said you will do. This is a blessing to his name. And when we bless his name, we are then pointing others towards him. We are making his name well known. This is how we bless his name, right? By letting others know who he is, by sharing our faith with others, witnessing to others. We are blessing his name. And so there is this inward kind of thing, my relationship with him, right, where I come with thanksgiving, and then outward where I talk about worship. But then there is this how I live thing here, right? To not just to give thanks to him, but to bless his name, to live in a way that blesses the name of the Lord. This is what this is true thanksgiving that is that is not just going through the motions on a Thursday in November, right? But living that way throughout your life so that you may bless His name. This is true expression of our thanks to Him, and our desire to show Him our gratefulness is that we live in a way that blesses His name. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving. God bless you during this time, and hope you enjoyed this. Share it. Be sure and subscribe if you haven't already, right? Make a comment, share a comment. Maybe in the comments this week, just tell us something that you're thankful for, all right? Just lay out something you're thankful for in the comments, all right? Thanks. Hey, we'll see you next week.